Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today I wanted to talk about, I get a lot of questions about what happened in Paris. So I'm just going to get right into it and hopefully answer some questions that you guys have sent. But basically, I went to Paris with my friend Allie. I've been to Paris like 3-4 times already. I've been with Blake, I've been with other friends. I've never had any issues there, so I don't know if this was just a crazy incident or what, but basically I'll tell you guys the story of what happened. So we were, first morning, we got up, we were staying by the Champs-Élysées, which is right by the Arc de Triomphe, the big, arc building. It's really cool. I wanted to stay close to there so we could get a really cool photo and not have to, Uber and stuff, because I do get up really early for the big monument shots. So we got up, I think at around like 4 or 5, got out there, got our photo, and I was wearing like a dress that was really low, so I wore a sweatshirt when we walked over there because it was only a couple blocks from our hotel. So I wore a sweatshirt, took it off to take a couple photos. Immediately when I took it off, people were driving by, like mostly men, trying to take photos, and I was like, stop, and I kept putting on my sweatshirt, super uncomfortable. It's crazy because here in California, I wear that kind of stuff and no one bothers me, but I don't know if it's just how French people are, I don't know, but I knew that it was, gonna happen, so that's why I wore like a big baggy sweatshirt so you couldn't see anything. So people were driving by, trying to take photos, saying inappropriate things, and I was already like, oh, this is so annoying. So we got our photo and we walked back, and then we changed, kind of chilled for a minute, and then I think around 8:30 I wanted to do another photo outside of a building really close to us, maybe like 2 blocks. So I went out there, I was in, long jean shorts that were to my knees, and a white top, pink hat, pink, you guys probably saw the photo on Instagram. So we were taking a couple photos. Allie had our really nice camera out, and I had like, my Chanel bag, I had a bunch of jewelry on, so we already knew to kind of watch what was going on. So we were taking photos, and this group of guys walked by, and one of them was like, hey, can I have a photo with you? And I was like, no, sorry, and I kind of was trying to be nice. I was like, no, it's okay, like, thank you. And we kind of walked away, and they were like, please let me get a photo, please, please. And we were both like, no. So we got really annoyed, and we started walking back to our place, hoping they would kind of keep walking and, go away. So then they went around the corner, and we were like, okay, either they're waiting for us to come back because they know we're like taking photos here. So we started walking, and immediately they started walking towards us again. So we were like, oh, this is so annoying. So we just gave up, and we were gonna walk back to our hotel. So our hotel is maybe a block, and then we have to turn and go like 2 blocks to our hotel. So we're on like the main strip, and we're walking, and all of a sudden a guy comes up in like a suit, and just for like reference, there was no specific, race or ethnicity. It was like a couple black guys, couple white guys, couple, different races. It was not like one specific, so this is why it was like really weird. And this guy comes up in a suit, so he's dressed nice, he is on the phone, and he's walking kind of at our pace, pretty close to me, like maybe here, and he's like, oh yeah, the girl in the pink hat and the pink purse. And I'm like, at this point I'm pissed, because this is so irritating, and I just like, wanted to get about my morning and not be harassed. And so I turned to him and I was like, can you go away? And he was like, and this is like bad language, so sorry for everyone, but he started cussing at me and was like, fuck you, you American, who do you think you are, blah, 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 you can't talk to people like that here. And I was like, you don't need to be following us, like, can you please go away? And I was yelling because I was really mad. And Allie, she freezes, and she doesn't know how to like deal with these situations. And I also in my head was like, all right, don't make him too mad, and you don't like insult him, because he could, attack you. And mind you, there is no one outside. It is Sunday morning at 8 a.m. and in, Europe, no one's up this early. So no one's walking around. So if anything were to happen, we would have had no help. So Artie was kind of like, all right, this isn't like comfortable. So then he eventually was yelling at me, and we started walking faster, and he kind of faded behind. So then within 10 seconds, 2 guys from that same group were on little bird type scooters circling us. And Allie and I are kind of like, what is going on? It just like all happened so fast. So they started circling us, and so I was like, Allie, move, like walk faster. And so right then we turned the corner onto our street, and then they went away. It's crazy. So then we're like walking down our block, we're walking pretty fast, and I get this feeling that someone's following us. So I look in the reflection of my phone, and there's two guys across the street on the other side, a couple steps behind us, clearly like following us. There's no one on the street, no one at all. So I'm like, Allie, these guys are following us, and we're kind of talking to ourselves. And most people, you know, can understand English, so I was trying to say it really quiet, and I was like, Allie, there's guys watching us. Don't go into our hotel. Let's go into the next hotel. And we remembered seeing that there's another hotel next to ours. So we walk really fast and we go into our hotel, or the next hotel. And so we're in there and there's a receptionist there, and I was like, hi, do you speak English? And she was like, yeah. I was like, there's two guys following us. Is it right if we like hide in here for a minute? So we hid inside there, and then she was like kind of letting us know. She's like, oh, the guys just walked by, and they like looked in, trying to see, you know, if we were still in the lobby or like what. So there was a guy in the lobby with the receptionist, and he went outside and waited for them to go, you know, try to leave. And he said they stood out there for a little bit. And so I don't know if this is like Kim Kardashian status where they're waiting to see what room we were going into or like what was going on. But I saw that episode of Kardashians and I was like, don't mess around, like don't do anything stupid. Always like go into someone else's hotel, another building, a store, anything. No stores were open this early, so another hotel was kind of our only option. So we hid in there for maybe like 15-20 minutes, and the guy who was watching the guy said that they went a couple blocks down and like left. So we waited and waited, and eventually we like ran into our hotel. We let the receptionist there know that there was two guys. We let them know kind of the situation. We were like, if there's any guys that come in here, we don't have any men with us. Don't let anyone up. Don't tell them that we're staying here. Nothing. Like, don't say anything. So they were like, okay. So then we were pretty shaken up, and I was pretty mad. I was upset. I cried right after, because it's really scary when you are traveling by yourself or with a girl, and, you know, essentially men can overpower you and everything. So I went on my Instagram stories and I told everyone what was happening, because, you know, I'm not the only one who travels. Girls travel all the time, and we need to be more aware of this kind of thing, because it is really scary, and this happens a lot. The amount of responses that I got of people saying, oh yeah, they were trying to abduct you, sex trafficking, like you name it. They could have been trying to, you know, steal our purses, like whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all scary, and I'm really glad that we were aware and kind of knew what to do. I don't know if there is like a right thing to do in those situations. I honestly Googled a lot of things of like how to get someone to go away from you. A lot of the results said don't, you know, try to fight back and like say mean things, because that will honestly just make them mad and probably do worse to you. So we tried to ignore and just kind of make them go away, and they wouldn't, and they kind of were coming at us in waves. It was really weird. It was obviously like, I don't know if they were like a little bit drunk from the Saturday night before and were just like messing with us, or but the fact that guys were following us was like the scariest part. So we basically hid in our hotel all day and just kind of didn't feel safe. And this really sucked because it was our first day there and we were really excited. Allie had never been there before and I really wanted to show her around, but we took a day and just kind of recouped. And the next day we went, because nothing was open on Sunday, we went to a gun shop, which I didn't know they had in Paris, and got pepper spray. I think it was like 15 bucks or something. And a lot of people were saying that I don't know what the rule is for carrying pepper spray, but honestly, I don't care. I would rather feel like I have some sort of a defense against like someone who can overpower me, or at least some sort of like something to make me feel a little bit safer. So we each got pepper spray. People say that you're not allowed to carry it or not allowed to spray it. I don't know. There's a bunch of weird rules, but honestly, I'd rather get arrested for pepper spraying someone and not be, you know, kidnapped. So I don't really give a shit. I was gonna have some sort of like a weapon to be able to defend myself. But yeah, I guess that would just kind of bring me to like my main point of this video. Paris is not a bad place. Anywhere in the world, here in LA, shit happens all the time, like scary things. When I go downtown, I've had homeless people chase me and yell at me, and you know, you just never know. Anywhere in the world, you need to be super aware of your surroundings. You know, if there's people kind of following you. I got a ton of girls sending in stories of guys following them outside of restaurants, at nightclubs. You know, my personal opinion, I don't go out when I'm not with Blake on a trip, or if I don't you know, if my phone doesn't work in a country, I don't go out, I don't drink. I'll drink maybe a glass of wine at dinner, but I don't, obviously I'm married, so I don't need to go out and like do all that stuff. So it's not important to me to go clubbing and bar hopping and stuff when I'm in other countries. So that's one thing that I do to keep myself safer, especially when Blake's not there. I don't, you know, I don't get super drunk or anything like that, so that I'm constantly like aware. I don't carry, I usually keep my ID and my passport. Like I leave the passport in the safe at the hotel and I'll keep my ID with me, and I have 2 different cards. So I keep one at home in the hotel and then one with me, because essentially if someone stole my purse, I'd still want to be able to have a way to get myself home. And I typically don't try to keep my passport with me, because that's the only way you're getting home. But yeah, I try to keep at least one form of ID and one form of paying for things, if anything were to happen, like getting my stuff pickpocketed or stolen or whatever. Other things I like to do, you know, a lot of people were asking me, oh, can you wear a backpack? I wore a backpack a few days. I wore it in places that I felt safer. So obviously I wouldn't go to the Eiffel Tower or big tourist spots, because that's where a lot of pickpocketing happens. And I would kind of wear maybe a smaller bag and wear it under my sweatshirt, or I'd wear it like right under my arm so that I, you know, wasn't open for anyone just to come and grab, because pickpocketers literally can get your stuff in 2 seconds. You wouldn't even feel it. I've seen people getting pickpocketed and I'm like, I can't even believe that just happened. So, you know, for the most part, don't post your stories with locations of where you stay. Like I never tag the hotels that I'm staying at unless I feel safe. Even, you know, when I'm doing a collab with a hotel, I'm like, sorry, I'll post, you know, when I leave, because this day and age, you can find anyone. If you've seen the show You, it is very easy to find you if through social media. So I pretty much don't try to post in real time, or, you know, do locations of exactly where I am, or I'll post maybe the next day. Just, you know, honestly, these days it's so easy to find people. It's just smarter, and it's not worth it to post, you know, everything that you're doing immediately when you're doing it, because scary things can happen. You never know who's following you. You never know, you know, who's watching what you're doing. But yeah, I guess just for the most part, be really careful. Always be aware. Like I look like a psycho, because I'm always like looking around when I'm walking, and like I try not to carry too many things with me. Don't wear too much jewelry. I never wear my wedding ring when I go on trips. Even some trips with Blake, I still don't wear it, because it's really not worth it. Like I'll just wear maybe a little band or something, but you know, it's not the end of the world if I don't wear it for a trip. And I just don't want the anxiety of like having, you know, diamonds on me. So I pretty much gauge it on where I'm going and if it's necessary to wear it. But you know, even this kind of stuff was happening to people were sending their stories in and saying, oh, I was with my husband and a guy was pulling me away from him and trying to pull my wedding ring off. Like they're not afraid of you having a guy with you, a ton of people, it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's crazy that it happened. I'll still go back to Paris. Like it's nothing against Paris. We had the best trip after that. After we, you know, got our pepper spray and felt a lot safer. We just were very aware of everything, and I'm kind of glad it happened, because it reopened my eyes to, you know, this kind of stuff happens and it doesn't matter where you are. I've had scary stuff happen, you know, here in LA at home. So it's just being aware of your surroundings always. And also another tip that someone did say is don't be down in your phone texting, having it out. You know, you can take photos and stuff, but to be walking and texting is like the #1, you know, trigger for people to want, because you're busy, you're like focused on this, and boom, purse is gone, something's gone. So, you know, it's like texting and driving. Just don't do it when you're texting and driving. Don't text and walk when you're, you know, somewhere else that you're not aware of your surroundings all the time. But yeah, I mean, it was scary, and I like still think about it all the time, and I really hope that me sharing this with you guys will, you know, make you more aware. And especially when you're traveling, like everyone's traveling this summer and all the time, it's just really smart to always like travel with a friend. Don't go by yourself anywhere. I don't know, I don't really get why people do that. I mean, I guess some people like it, but I need the company and the safety. But yeah, I hope this helps. I'm, not afraid of traveling still. It's just something that I learned from and, hopefully can try to avoid anytime I travel. But hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you have any more questions. Feel free to DM me. I pretty much respond to everyone, or try to, but I hope this helped. Thanks for watching.